Hey everyone, I just want to start off by saying a huge thank you to App Promotion Summit for putting on this Social Video Strategies USA. This is fantastic. I just wanted to give a quick intro to who I am. So I am a head of talent for a talent management agency that focuses on aspects of creator business and growth for Project Z. And I just wanted to, shout out. Let's start with Adi for giving your intro to who you are.
Yes, thanks. My name is Adi. I had the marketing department over at Flighthouse. Flighthouse is broken up into two parts. So one is like our media brand, where we have a pretty large presence on TikTok and Instagram. And on the backside, we have an agency, which is what a lot of the stuff that I head over. So a lot of influencer campaigns, a lot of branded content, bringing creators in for our own content, helping out brands like Hollister and things like that. So that's a little bit about me.
And Madison, what about you?
Hi, I'm Madison. I'm the social media manager for 1 Second Every Day, which is an app. I've been working there for about 1.5 years, making content for all the social platforms and now including TikTok. And I've been on TikTok since 2017 when it was known as Musical.ly. So I've seen it change through the years.
All right, Dominic, what about you, sir?
Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Dominic Tolliver, and I'm a content creator on TikTok, and I make family-friendly content to put wonderful smiles on a lot of people's faces around the world. And I'm so happy to be here.
That's awesome, guys. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for everybody that's listening to this right now. Let's kick this off so we can get as much information as possible. I'd love to start off by asking Madison, let's talk a little bit more about the activity you're doing over there at 1 Second Every Day.
So for TikTok specifically, we started a TikTok in December before our busy season. The new year is our busy season for 1 Second Every Day. And we wanted to have a presence there to really just be on the platform. That's huge, and kind of see what happens. And we blew up on New Year's. We had it, we went viral, and we really leaned into that by doing some duets with some viral content that took off. And we became #1 in the App Store during that time. So that was really exciting for a very small team. We got 3 people on the marketing team. So now I'm really making content on TikTok to engage people, to grow our downloads, and to keep people engaged with our app and hold retention.
Yeah, I mean, that's like just a great testimony right there on how powerful, things are because of the success you guys had. And we're able to take your app to #1 in the App Store, which is phenomenal. I mean, that's something that people are hoping for their business. So this is great stuff. Adi, can you tell us a little bit more about the experiences of making TikTok content and channels in the music business over at Flighthouse?
Yeah, totally. I mean, Flighthouse started also with Madison, like in Musical.ly days. And so we were basically a sound page. And so we were uploading our own music on there. And that's how we really grew this large following. A lot of people were getting their music from there. So that's when like labels started to hit us up and get us really into this agency business, basically. And fast forward to now, our content on the Flighthouse page is a lot more gamified now. And we include music and really touch on the culture, on TikTok culture, bringing in, as I mentioned, like certain creators and things like that. And then as far as like influencer campaigns, helping craft creatives for songs, getting records, figuring out what's the best part for TikTok, what kind of trend should this fit in. I've worked with Dominic like a ton and things like that. And so, yeah, just figuring out, what can kind of fit on the platform. And obviously in the music business, TikTok has become so important over the last year. And so, really helping labels, figure out what kind of content to push with their music. Should you do a trend? Should you not do a trend? Should you just reach out to creators and kind of let them do their thing or things like that? So, figuring out, what kind of works on TikTok. Another thing is like, you have these trends that are going on TikTok, and it's like, if we have a new song, can we take a current trend and create like a plot twist ending with like this new song? And so those are like some of the things that we're thinking about. And then I just wanted to touch on, I recently created this account for a Gucci bucket hat. We were working in this song, and so we actually created this account. It's like at Gucci bucket spam, and we created this character. And basically he was hanging out with influencers. He was doing trends. He had his own personality, and that got to like 50,000 followers in like a few months or something. So that was super cool. But yeah, that's kind of a few of the things like within the music space and content creation.
No, that's awesome. And I mean, people that are listening, just go over to TikTok and you can check out Flight House. I mean, they're at 27.6 million followers. That's crazy. You know, they're definitely like probably top, I would say top 100 accounts in the US marketplace. So they're doing some phenomenal things over there. And I know, like you said, you've worked with Dominic in the past. So that leads into, Dominic, you're a TikTok creator, and I'd love to know a little bit more about your journey, as a creator over on TikTok.
Yeah, and to rub off of Adid, I've actually worked with him and used a lot of Flight House sounds back in Musically days and still on TikTok, because they had like one of the best sounds on the app and like the best mashups, and they always intervened with the trends and put it together. So it was easier to use their sounds to like kind of go viral on the app on TikTok. So my journey is, I love TikTok. I started, using TikTok when I was working at a 9-to-5 job, and now I'm like creating full-time content, every day now as like my job. And just being on the app and just have like the ability to be like creative and just kind of like put out your content for people to show people and to show the world is just absolutely amazing. And to even like think like, the community on TikTok is amazing, and just to have that just to be on there is just great.
That's awesome, Dominic. So, a lot of people in the audience right now, they probably signed up to listen to this panel because they want to know a lot more about how TikTok can help them. What are the, key success factors for succeeding and building their brand or personal brand on TikTok? So I'd love to open this up to the panelists now, and we can take turns answering these questions. But what do you think are the key success factors for building on TikTok? Anybody want to go first?
Yeah.
Go first.
Sorry.
Go for it.
Go ahead, Dominic.
Ladies first.
No, go ahead.
So like the key factors to build a good channel on TikTok is kind of, you have to like study the market, study TikTok and see what's going on. Look at the For You page. The For You page is basically all what's trending, what's going on, and what's going viral. So me personally, what I've done is I've studied like the For You page and see like what's trending, and I basically take that sound or that audio and that kind of like twist it into and like that kind of fits best to me, and then I just kind of make it like add a little twist to the trend, and then I put it out there. And whenever you see a trend, I would say hop on it ASAP, because that's what's going to get you the views until you build enough following to where you can like kind of have like build your own niche.
No, that's fantastic. Madison?
Yeah, totally agree. I think being on TikTok and scrolling through yourself as a business is important. You'll probably end up watching it for hours, just to warn you. But it's a good way to see what's trending and really think about how you can make a TikTok that works well for your brand specifically. You shouldn't be copying other people. You shouldn't think that you have to do what other people are doing. It just has to be what makes sense for you guys. And I think another big thing is being aware of what's not working as well, and leaning into what is, and kind of knowing that your content is going to change over time, and that's okay. You're not going to be making the same thing that you were a month ago, probably. So really be okay with that. Put your ego aside if you really think that your idea is awesome and it's not working, and kind of move forward from there.
That's fantastic. Adi?
Yeah, and Yeah, to your guys' points, like I remember when we were like, I think this was like 2019, and we were just like, what's that next level for us and what can we do? And then we tried something new, which was this gamified content, and we did finish the TikTok lyric, and that exploded. And then we started going, okay, that worked. Like, how do we take those principles and apply it to new things? And honestly, I had this conversation with this creator the other day, and he was like, I had this goal of like getting to 100,000 followers in like a week. And so I tried all these things. And what was interesting, and to Dominic's point, he was like, I posted 3 TikToks a day. 2 of them, he was speaking to the camera. So he was delivering value in a way where he was educating people. And so he had 2 videos that he just spoke to the camera, didn't use any audios or nothing, posted that. Then one of the videos per day, he would do the same thing, except he would have a trending sound on the bottom linked, but like muted it. And those always performed better, which is super interesting. So, using those trending sounds just help your videos, being authentic. I think Madison and Dominic kind of touched on some really, really good points.
No, that's really awesome, guys. I appreciate that. I think the key takeaways I took there are really focus on the trends that are happening and see how you can incorporate it within yourself and really pay attention to those trending sounds. So if you do some sort of educational speaking content, you still can use those sounds within your videos. And those are really powerful on the app. I appreciate that, guys. I'd love to know too, what are some sort of content formats that are really popular on the app? We all know, especially people like Charlie D'Amelio with her dance videos. What other type of content are found within the app? Madison, do you want to
go? Yeah, I mean, something that I love, comedy skits are great. Just any kind of skit that's just original content. Another thing that I see right now that's really popular seems to be advice. People giving a really personal setup, just talking to the camera as if they're talking to you as a friend. I think that's very successful. It can show your personality. It can show your style. It can get people really invested and feel like you're friends with them. That's what I think is working really well right now, and I see a lot in my feed.
Adi, do you have anything to add there?
Yeah, totally. I think a lot of it's interesting. A lot of satisfying videos do well. On top of all the, food or dance videos, things like that. And something that I've really started to notice as well is I see TikTok, there's all these different realms, but there's a realm of TikTok where I'm like, this is Twitter. People are literally just sitting there playing music, just staring at the screen. And then they have the text above that, the emotion of the music and the text, correlate. And they're just sitting there, and it's just a tweet. It's just a video tweet. So it's super interesting to see that. And then I'm seeing a lot of picture trends, like it's basically like a slideshow. In the beginning you have your opening title, my mood board for 2021, and then you show photos of all those things. So those are kind of some other concepts that we're seeing.
Awesome. Dominic, you have anything to add?
Yeah, I want to rub off on Adid and Madison. I think what I see a lot and what's reoccurring on my For You page is a lot of comedy skits, and I see a lot of I feel like TikTok is becoming more kind of like Twitter, whatever's trending, the next day TikTok will have it already, or the same day. Say let's just say activists or just whatever you see on the news, it'll literally be on the For You page and people are talking about it. I see a lot of story times. I think that's really cool, just to have people tell you about their day or what's going on in the real world. But yeah, I think that's what I see a lot on my For You page as well.
That's awesome. I think this kind of shows, going back to a lot of people they're probably interested right now listening to us speak, because so many people think TikTok is lip syncing and dancing, but that is a big part of the app for sure. That's a big culture part aspect of it. but there's a lot more to it, and brands can explore their authenticity and their unique style in many different ways. So it doesn't have to be limited to just dancing and lip syncing. There's way more things, as we just discussed with the panelists right here, which is awesome. And so I'd love to know, because of that, and there are a lot of brands doing some fantastic things, who do you think is doing such a good job on TikTok right now? Are there any brands that stand out, celebrities or individual creators that just really stand out to you right now? Let's start with Adi.
Well, besides Flight House, I think Chipotle is doing a really, really great job. Like, Chipotle just like understands digital and Gen Z, and they're not traditional. I think they're doing like a really outstanding job. Elf Cosmetics is doing a good job on their page. I think I want to highlight Dave Portnoy has been really somebody who's started to tap into Gen Z very well. Obviously has a podcast with like Josh Richards and stuff. So I think that they're getting a good job ingraining themselves in this culture and touching on the next gen. Cookies and Kicks is another one. They're really, really killing it. Got to shout out Jason Derulo. The man has made his comeback. But those are some of the people that I'm seeing.
That's awesome. Dominic, anybody to add?
Few advertising like Chipotle and just like a few others, but I don't really get like a lot of like ads on my For You page.
Or you don't know about it because they're so good.
Yeah, I don't know about it.
That's Madison. How about you?
Sorry, my thing was glitching. I was gonna say Chipotle as well. There's the top dog. That's usually who I see when it comes to brands. I also don't really get a lot of brands in my For You page. I feel like maybe I don't know, and it might be small brands that I get. I feel like they're killing it. Mm-hmm. I think that small brands are very scrappy, and they have very authentic content when it comes to the platform. And I was going to specifically name somebody that's kind of random, but I really love PD USA is who he's called. And he does comedy skits, but has different characters. And so he's really carved out his own space of like bizarre content, and you know what to expect when you get a PD video, but you also don't know what to expect at the same time.
I'd love to also add, I forget the account, but there's these group of kids, and they have like a clothing brand, and they got together and made a house, and they're actually doing a super good job, making content very engaging with their audience, replying to comments and videos and things like that. And I think they're driving a lot of awareness to their brand in general. And so, I think that I forget, I wish I knew their name, but that's like another route that they took, where they're like, let's all get in a house together, let's make clothes, and like, let's make TikTok content. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's definitely something I've been noticing too, is there's a lot of small businesses that are really taking on, they're making a name for themselves from the platform. And the reason why I said to Dominic, maybe you didn't notice, is because there's some great brands out there that are really seamlessly going through the For You page, and you might not even know it's branded content because they understand the platform. And these brands that are doing such a great job, like Chipotle, that we've mentioned, are because they've really understood the platform and how Gen Z, especially, like other generations are on there, but Gen Z, how that fits within the culture of the platform. Another two, brands that I love to mention is Washington Post is another one that's doing such a fantastic job. If you look at them, coming from like a media type way on how they're incorporating in it in a really fun way, is really brought a lot of light to them. And believe it or not, an airline, Ryanair, absolutely crushing it on the app. They have done a fantastic job. That is somebody I would definitely recommend checking them out and seeing what they're doing and how you can really bring the culture to your brand in a fun way that's going to get attention. There's also brands killing it in the comment section right now. I see Walmart, McDonald's, Wendy's, a lot of the QSR brands that are really focusing heavy. PacSun is like in all the comments right now. So that is another strategy that I've noticed brands are doing such a great job, just showing up in the comments and being active and talking with the audience and engaging. So yeah, I would love to know too, let's talk a little bit about, the TikTok algorithm, if there's any insights or anything that you know about the TikTok algorithm or how you think it works best. Anybody want to kick off? Madison, do you want to speak to anything on that?
I think a big thing with the algorithm that I'm starting to understand is that, and I think other people should too, is that it's going to test your content first to like a small batch audience. And then from there, it will release it to more people. And then from there to more people, if they feel like it's something that's a good piece of content, strong, maybe it's a trend. That's what I understand of the algorithm, and it's always changing as well. So that's why I also just encourage to look through the feed constantly and stay on top of things, because it'll always change. And the algorithm also really likes you to use features, popular sounds again. And I think that it is great advice to say that you can mute a sound if you don't want it there, but it does help. I have seen that it helps, and a lot of people are talking about it.
Absolutely. Dominic, do you have anything to add?
Yes. I do like algorithm. It's so tough to kind of like understand the algorithm, but I do see like whenever I put out original sound on my page with no audio, like no like trending audio, it performs a lot less. But then when I put in the audio using the exact same original content, it will go viral. So it's just really tricky, kind of like knowing like the algorithm, like when it's gonna pull your video into the system to make it go viral. Even with the amount of following that I have, like not every video that I have it has like the potential to go viral. It just depends on like the algorithm. It's really hard to kind of like study it.
Yeah, Adi, do you have anything to add?
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Like me just scrolling through the For You page is just, with the influencer campaigns, trying to make sounds go viral and things like that. Like I'm noticing like, when I'm on the For You page, if I see a small creator that I don't know or that they don't have a lot of followers, like I'll see them because their video went viral, probably using a trending sound. Or if I'm seeing a small creator that doesn't have a lot of, likes on their video, the reason I'm seeing that is because they're using some kind of trending sound. So I think like that's super important. To Madison's point as well, like, yeah, like having the music in the video is always super great. And so, yeah, I think like retention rate is big. And so, you'll see people that make videos that like, they'll have like text pop up and they won't like put the full thing in there so that you have to stay and watch as the text and the story unfolds. Or some people do text, but they do it so long that you literally are sitting there like reading this thing and like the video is just going and going and going. And I think that I think the whole point of that is for them to be like, it's like kind of like a hack for the retention rate. So yeah.
No, that's great. What I want to add there too, especially like brands or people looking at this right now, the algorithm is really unique aspect to other platforms because it's so unique to us. Therefore, your content that you're creating as well is going to be pushed to the people that are actually interested in it, which is really awesome and unique to other platforms versus, maybe like Facebook or Instagram, where you might see a variety or your content gets pushed to people who might not be too interested in it. So I think that's really powerful aspect to the algorithm as well. Also, TikTok, I just wanted to put this out here too. TikTok did just release that if your videos are not performing that well in the beginning, it could have 90-day cycle to be pushed to that For You page. So your video can actually populate out there and be pushed at a later time. So that's something to also, be aware of. I've had it happen to some of my videos 2 months later. It finally just gets traction and it's out there. So don't be discouraged if there's lower views in the beginning on that algorithm. It's just so unique and figuring out when it's going to be pushed. Yeah. So now let's talk about, we know what's kind of trending. We know what's going out there. We talked a little bit about the algorithm. Is there any video creation, like filming tips that you can give to people Is there anything that, yeah, Dominic, do you have anything to add?
So like, just a few tips to know, like before you create a TikTok video. It's like you kind of want to make sure you have like good quality, um, and just like a nice background. So it makes it a lot clearer to see what's going on, you know. Yeah, and I would just say that
No, that's perfect.
that's what really. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead if you have something else
Oh
to
yeah,
add.
so that's what really helps like my videos perform, but I don't know how everyone else's performs, but I'm pretty sure like it will perform if you had like really good quality and background.
Absolutely. Adi?
Yeah, I think what's really cool about TikTok is that like it doesn't need to be super like high quality to do well, and it allows virtually anyone to get in on. But what I've been seeing lately as well, which has been pretty cool, is like because there's so much like raw content and iPhone shot stuff, people that are starting to use cameras or like high quality stuff is starting to stick out, and it's just out of the norm. So I think like figuring out that differentiation is really cool. And then I think just from like a content perspective, like there's really just, if you're just sitting there like I don't really know what to make today, like music, there's just unlimited supply of music out in the world, and there's so many things within the songs that can spark inspiration. Maybe it's a gunshot, maybe it's like a yell, maybe it's like a one liner. So if you're ever like trying to figure out what should I do today, like just go listen to some music. Obviously you got the trending sounds, but if you don't want to use those or whatever, like there's just an unlimited supply of music out there that you can get inspo from to create some content.
That's awesome. Madison?
Yeah, I think that you can have a range from, high quality content to low quality on the platform, but it's all about, consistency, I think, and what works for you. If your high quality stuff is working, then you should really stick with that. And another thing too is adding captions is really huge right now, especially if you're talking about a subject for a long time. It holds people's attention, and not everybody is watching a TikTok with the sound on. So I would really explore different options with how you can use text in your videos and just features in general. Just play around with it. There's a lot of people on the platform that don't know how to use things. So it's a great way to stand out.
Awesome. Yeah, from listening to you guys, some of the key takeaways that I heard is like from Addy, what he said is the cool thing is you can be raw and real on the app. So you don't have to be, a lot of people are limited when they think I have to come to YouTube or make content there because they feel like they need all this, high studio production. Where on TikTok, you could just be real, authentic, just show up, use your camera. But you can stand out for sure if you do use a little bit of higher quality there. I've noticed that as well. And it is fantastic to use any of the features like the text features, captions. I have noticed too, when I use them on my videos, they seem to perform a little bit better because it's true. Sometimes you're sitting and just scrolling in a place where you can't have, the sound on. So those are great, and like that actually opens up to more questions about what features are on the app. Which ones do you think stand out the most? Maddie, do you want to kick that off?
I think for me, it's the text to speech feature that they have. It can be really funny. It can be just a great way to stand out. People are using it as a way to show what they're thinking instead of speaking. I think it's really cool. It's actually how we went viral on the platform. It's funny because we were talking earlier about how it's kind of become Twitter. The girl that helped us get viral, who had a piece of content that got millions of views, she just sat in front of a camera and had the text to speech going and pitched the exact same idea of our app. So it was a trending feature at the time, and I still feel like it's trending hard and people are getting very creative with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Dominic?
Yeah, I would say the Siri speaking feature is really cool. I definitely use that on my wife and like just say some really like funny things, and a lot of those videos that I did went viral just for using that feature. Another cool thing is the filters. TikTok is always coming out with like these new filters, whether it's face or whether it's something like lighting. They typically go viral as well. So I would say just keep up with the filter features that come out that TikTok brings out.
Perfect. Addy, are you there? Oh, he's reconnecting. Yeah, so I can mention a few that I think are really powerful for the app is because TikTok is really about engaging with your audience. They've created one of the most powerful features, I think, and that's the text to reply feature. So as your audience gives you feedback from any videos you've created, you can actually create content just from the comments that people are giving out. So somebody might even ask you a question, or somebody might want you to elaborate more on part of the video that you're using, and the text, the reply to the comment features do good. People do it for challenges as well. Hey, can you do this? And then they go out and do those types of things. So that's fun for your business, is getting your audience involved and making you do some sort of fun challenge within the, your community, which is really powerful as well. I think Addie's reconnecting here. Perfect. Addie, do you have anything to add? Like, what features you think are working great, or? Well, you're just on mute. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. I think your mic's just muted. Okay, we'll come back to his response on that, but let's talk about hashtags as well. Madison, what do you think about hashtags on the app? A lot of people ask questions on that. How do you think they work? What are the best methods of using hashtags?
For me, I have a different relationship with hashtags than I think a lot of people do. I don't think you have to rely on them as much as you did in the past, unless it's like a specific campaign that you're trying to push and to be able to see all the content within that hashtag. But it does go, you should be using keywords, I guess, in your caption at least. I think that smaller hashtags work good or work well. You don't have to use these really popular hashtags. You should be trying to go for like more niche ones if you can, especially if you're a smaller business. But that's what I would say from my experience, is that I don't rely too heavily on hashtags as much as other people do. But if I do see a trend, you should use the hashtag. If it's a specific trend and you're doing it, you should try to find what that exact one is and just put it in there at least. And also keep it to like 3 hashtags at most. I feel like that's worked well for me.
Yeah, perfect. Addie, are you back?
I'm
yeah,
back.
you are. Awesome.
It wasn't letting me unmute. Yeah, I'll just combine the 2 questions. So I was saying that, I think the text-to-speech effect has been like super popular and funny, and so I think that that's really cool. And then, with like even it, with the SEO like on TikTok for search, like even if you don't use hashtags but you put a caption and people search things up in the search bar, like your video can still pop up because of what you wrote in the caption. So I think that that's super important. And then I'm not too familiar on like hashtag stuff, but I'm sure Madison knows a lot more in that space, and Dom, so I'll let them kind of touch on the hashtag stuff.
Perfect. Yeah, Dominic, have you had any success or any insights on hashtags?
I would say in the beginning, when I first started TikTok, maybe like 2-3 years ago, when the numbers were really low, but like now, like if you type in like, FYP or just like For You page, it has literally like 1 billion, like it's been used like 1 billion times, over like 1 billion. So it's like now, in my personal opinion, I feel like it doesn't really help that much. But if you use, like Madison said, if you use like kind of like smaller hashtags that don't have like a lot of people using it, it has like definitely like a potential of like getting somewhere. But regardless, I still put hashtags.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I think as well, I believe that the hashtags are not as weighted as some other platforms, maybe like Instagram. They do, I agree, using hashtags like FYP or for you are just really oversaturated and silly at this point to use. I think from what we've talked about from other experts in the field, that using hashtags that are niche specific to the video can help. They're just a really good way to kind of get found. But I agree what Addie said, and the caption can still be found. So be unique with that aspect, I think, is more important than hashtags in general. So that's something great. Now, let's talk about managing channels. So for people that are looking to manage the channel, what is something that's really important? Is it important to, be engaging with your audience, looking at comments? How do you manage your channels? Addie, let's start with you.
Sweet. Yeah, I think like the conversation between whoever is owning the account, whether it's a brand, whether it's a person, the conversation that they have with the audience is super important. And I think, I think like the audience can really just drive your content, even like, them saying, like, there's people that literally got super famous on TikTok by doing some kind of dance somewhere, and then somebody comments like, yo, you should do this at this place, and then they go to that place and then reply to that comment in the video and then do that, and then more people start like engaging. So I think that's like super important, the conversation with your audience, and for that kind of stuff too.
Yeah. Maddie, go ahead.
Yeah, engaging with everybody. I don't think you should just engage with people that have a blue check mark by them. I know it's really exciting to see those people if they do pop up on your in your comments, but everybody's very important, and you'll start to see familiar faces too, hopefully, in your comments. So just engaging with everybody. People get really excited when you comment back with them. They think it's amazing, especially if you have, a lot of followers. They're just so happy to have somebody take the time to do that, and it'll really help you stand out. And, being a team of one, I think that another thing for just managing your content in general, just you can create content ahead of time and save it in your drafts. I think that's a really important note, and then you can post it whenever you need to.
Yeah, those are great points. Dominic?
I think what's really like what made me so successful on TikTok was actually engaging, and what a cool feature that TikTok offered was like the live stream. It's like you're live in real time, and you get to talk to every single, like, whoever attends your live stream. You can literally talk to them. You can write them. You can, whatever question they have, you can answer them right on the spot. And I think what's really important, if you like shout out their name, because it feels more personal to them. So I think that's like one of the things that like kind of like helped me like got successful on TikTok, is just being very engaging, replying to a lot of comments, and just not just like comments. Like you can, I even like go off of TikTok and go to their Instagram and just like their photos, or just like respond to them as well.
That's awesome. You kind of brought up a really good point that I'd like to touch base on, because it is such a huge aspect of TikTok, is the live streaming portion, because that is a great way for audience, like for you to build your audience and engage. And I know that's helpful for the algorithm as well. For some reason, I think the app does push people's content that uses that feature a little bit more. I don't know, Addie, have you guys used the live feature over there at Flighthouse?
I think we used it once. I think it was more Musically days, and then we recently did some stuff with Noah Centineo that had to do with the election. And so, we partnered with him and his, this brand that he was creating, where we went live, had some people perform, do music, and things like that. So, but we haven't engaged too much, but random ideas we have had is like, yo, if everyone's on their phones at night, like what if we did this like live stream where like we were reading bedtime stories like every night at like 9 p.m. or something. So like I think that's like really cool. Like there's like really cool like formats you can do. We just haven't really made that move into the live stream stuff yet. But yeah, I think that there's a lot of really cool stuff you can do. And I think that there's a lot of creators that are doing a really, really good job with that stuff and staying engaged with their audience that way too. So.
Absolutely. Maddie, what's your experience with live streaming?
I haven't done any for 1 second every day, but just being a content creator on my own TikTok, I've loved it. And I remember a very specific live stream trend that happened, which was to either watch people sleep. They would just leave their live stream on to watch them sleep, which was hilarious. And then you would like scroll through your For You page and you just see all these people sleeping. And then there was other people like just watch my pet, and the pet would just be there. Like it was amazing. I really loved that. So, you should be looking out for live stream trends too, because I personally had a lot of fun. I didn't sleep on it on my live stream personally, but I did have a cardboard cutout of David Dobrik that I put in a bed, and I just said you can watch him sleep instead, and it did really well.
I remember that was so funny, and I would go in there and I'm just watching, like literally someone's just in bed sleeping at like 3 a.m. and I'm like, what am I doing on this live stream right now? That was such a funny trend.
It was, and so many people were making friends within that stream because they were just chatting while the person's sleeping. It was really funny. So I think the key concept to learn from there is just have fun with the live stream. It might be a little bit scary because you're like, oh my gosh, you're just talking to a camera, but it is really fun to bring your brand or element up there. You can even use it to showcase things from behind the scenes, to ask your audience questions, to get better content ideas, see what's working, ask them if they've used your products. You can show them like unboxing videos. Anything like that is just so key to live streaming. It is really fun. There's a lot of people who use TikTok for multiple things, and there's a lot of people who kicked off groups. We see houses, Hype House and Sway House and things like that. What are your thoughts on these TikTok houses? I mean, Addy, you could probably speak. You've talked to probably a lot of these guys, have rolled through your studios over there at Flight House.
Yeah, I think it's super cool. And I think it's just a great way to like collaborate, use each other's audiences. Every time, people come to LA, or every time people are getting with other creators and creating content, putting more creative minds that have a lot of like a big following for a reason together, just creates a lot like great content as well. So I think like every time somebody comes to LA, when people get into the houses, like their followers or engagement are shooting up. And I think that's cool, like to go to a house and live with a bunch of people and create content all day. That sounds pretty fun to me. So it's pretty insane to see like the explosion of it and everyone doing it, but it makes a ton of sense to me.
Awesome. Maddie, do you have anything to add about the content creation houses?
Yeah, I think if they have an aligned goal, I think it works out pretty well, but it also comes with a lot of drama, which might be good too for them. People love drama, and it's kind of just like your reality TV. That's how I see it. I don't see it as much on my For You page now, probably just because I'm, not following that as much, trying to stay off the TikTok drama. It's good for your health. But I'm waiting for like a millennial Hype House to happen. I'm just waiting for that moment. Is it going to happen? I don't know. But I just know that it's like a lot of young people right now, and I think it works really well. And it's endless ideas. They can all collaborate with each other, cross-platform, and like each other's stuff. And it'll just show up on people's feed more and more if you have a Hype House too, or just a creator house.
Mm-hmm. Dominic, do you have anything to add?
It's like one of the best. Oh, sorry. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I think it's like one of the best creation ever. You got a bunch of like popular creators from all around like USA, and they come into like one house, and they all have like different audience, and they're very unique in their own way. And just putting them like all together is just like amazing. I would love to be a part of one of those content houses, but yeah, I have a family now, so I mean, if there's any content creator house out there that like wants to do like, you know, family, you know, creator house, I'm so down for that. But I think it's really cool, you know, having them there.
For sure. You know, I love Maddie. I love your thought on we should have like, you know, a millennial house or something like that. I think that's really wicked. There'll probably be more things like that. I think the key takeaway there too is the collaborative effort, right? That's why those houses are doing well, because you're collaborating with everybody. I think there's people that can be doing that outside of needing a house, being creative, collaborating with others, even if it's like business, B2B, why not? You know, bring your B2Bs together and collaborate in some sort of effort and be unique and fun. I think people would love to see that. That, you know, that would be really unique to the thing too. Let's talk about, you know, just switching gears, analytics, data, KPIs. That's something people are probably really curious right now of coming to something like this. Do you have any experience on like any feedback from brands, maybe like for Dominic, especially you, if you've worked with any feedback on, you know, doing any collaborations there, brand partnerships? Addy, you might be able to even speak on Flight House side of aspects there. You know, let's start with Addy quickly. Any feedback there?
Yeah, totally. What we're seeing a lot from brands is like views is something that's like super big for them. You know, on the music side, for example, you know, the biggest KPI on TikTok is video creations. And of course, like views is a big part of that as well. Like if you have something that only has 100 videos, but that video, one of the videos that uses that sound got 20 million views, like it could really increase streaming. So that's like on the music side. And then on the brand side, like, yeah, they're really looking at views and things like that. So, you know, running a campaign, they're looking at, you know, how many creators can we use? How many views are you guys going to guarantee? Things like that, as opposed to necessarily, you know, having a sound go viral or things like that. So that's kind of what I'm seeing, you know, more on the brand side. And then obviously, if we're running an account for a brand, you know, they're really looking at followers and engagement and, you know, that kind of stuff right now.
Absolutely. Maddie, what about you? Have you seen anything with 1 second every day?
You know, for us, we want to have a lot of views and everything, but when you're starting off, you can't expect to go viral. We got lucky during the holidays to have that, but I think a big thing is to have consistent growth for us. And engagement is really big, just so that we can connect with our audience and get feedback from them on our own product. But I also, like, followers aren't a really big thing for us. Followers are great, but what I see is that somebody can have, you know, 1 million followers on TikTok and they have no views. That can be really common, especially with the algorithm nowadays. I feel like followers meant so much more back in the Musical.ly days, because they also had this top chart of all the people with like top followers and things to follow. But now there's so many people that have millions of followers. So looking at that, the consistent growth or people that are up and coming is important.
Yeah, and to your point really quickly, like that's what we try to tell these brands, where they're like, well, how many followers does this creator have? How much this and that? We're like, well, TikTok, like the For You page, like it's not really how it works. You know, you could have somebody with 2,000 followers that gets 1 million views on something because the video is good. So, you know, trying to get that, like, this is just a different platform than Instagram, you know. And Instagram, you post something, got 0 followers, like you're getting 0 views. On TikTok, like it's not the same. So, you know, just to echo off her, like that's totally true.
Absolutely. Dominic, what about you? Do you have any insights?
Yeah. So like some insights I want to give out is like, you know, yeah, it's not about the following anymore, even though like I worked like my butt off to get to like, you know, where I'm at now, like 10 million followers. But when brands come to me, they're all like, you know, hey, it's all about the views now. Like, you know, I kind of tell them like the following that I have, but it's like the views has to be there. And that's one thing that you mentioned earlier. It's like a 90-day cycle. So when they see my views, it's like I will post like 5 videos a day, and then like my views would be at 50,000 views. But like if you scroll down, like you just have to scroll down to see my views. After like a month later, my views are like 500K, 600K to 1 million. You know, I think got some that's like 10 million views. But it takes time. So like a brand wants something where if I promote them, it has to be like 300,000 views in like 1 hour. You know what I mean? Which it's not about that. It's about like, you know, leaving it there for like a week or so and then see how it performs. So that's kind of like what I've been running to like a couple of times, you know.
Yeah. No, that's
recently.
a great point. There's a lot of changes within the algorithm that TikTok even has released from their own words. So you, as a brand, if you're listening and you're, you know, looking to use influencers or content creators to create videos for you and you're expecting a certain amount of views, it's a little iffy and nobody can control it at this point. So you kind of have to wait to see how the video performs over, like I said, it could be 90 days coming straight from the, you know, feedback from TikTok themselves. So that's something really key. But I know that there's a lot of success. Businesses are having so much success with, you know, like conversion rates, even people, website traffics are going up. People are selling out of products. You can just do it. Like Elf Cosmetics was a great example when they released that thing. You know, they had I think they had like 1 billion people listen to their sound that they created and their products were selling out. You'll see a lot of trends go around, like L'Oreal just did a makeup cover product, and I even went to the store to check it, and all my shops sold out everywhere. So it's kind of interesting to see that there is some great conversions there, which is awesome. So, and I'd love to let's dive into, you know, the future. We're getting closer to the end here, so people are probably interested in the future of TikTok.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, sorry, are we out of time? Or?
No, I think that's probably a great place to
Okay,
wrap it up.
perfect.
Yeah, I'd love to keep going, guys. Such a great discussion, but yeah, I'm just mindful of Colton
Sure.
in the next window. But that sounds like a great place to wrap it up. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Well, then, yeah, everyone, I just wanted to say, you know, a huge thank you to the App Promotion Summit and everyone here and putting on this Social Video Strategies USA. You can definitely connect with me. My name's Kyle Kaplanis. You can find me on, you know, LinkedIn and reach out. And I'd love to have further questions and answer anybody's questions that you have. And I know the panelists, I want to thank, you know, Maddie and Addie and Dominic for your time today. So thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh.